targeting every user in every piece of that funnel is the most important thing, essentially. So what are the benefits of tailoring, your journey for the user? What are the benefits of personalizing your website properly so that they have, a better experience on it? Well, this allows brands to do so many different things. It allows you to innovate. I mean, I'm not sure if any of you guys have read up on Nike and their maxims. Their number one maxim is it is our nature to innovate. I mean, they've done pretty well at doing that. But it allows, in doing something like this, at being innovative and being at the forefront of your space, it allows you to improve not only your image as a brand to the consumers, not only the personalized approach that they're going to get from shopping or engaging in the service that you provide, it also adds to your whole authority in the whole industry. I mean, if you're seen to be one of these innovative brands that are really pushing the boundaries, then everyone else will look to you as the next person to do the next big thing. And that's a pretty cool situation to be in. It allows you to educate your users. This isn't all just about selling stuff. It's also about engaging them. It's about educating them about the brand, about your morals, about your maxims. Increase the engagement and the user time across the whole website. You might engage a user on your site and get 20 hours more time of engagement across the site in a couple of days. That's a really exciting proposition just from changing a few different individual things in individual parts of your site. Increase social shares, content, increase visits, leads, all the rest of it. The key there is widening the gap between you and your nearest competitor. If you can do that, then essentially you're winning because it's harder for them to catch up. So what does the user think? What's gonna help them in this situation? I mean, they're all the reasons that you can help. There are all the reasons that you can benefit from it. But what does the user get out of this? Well, they get a better user experience. If you're making more sales, then they're buying more stuff, and if they're buying more stuff, then they're more interested in your brand and they're more engaged in your brand. It's an easier purchasing process. It's a better user experience for them. So who's done this quite well? Well, the big ones have done it quite well. Amazon have done it quite well. 82% of customers surveyed said that their e-commerce platform currently is the best. No one comes close in offering the same experience. And that was out of 1,000 customers. 82%. Why is that? What are Amazon doing that loads of other guys aren't doing? Well, they're making it easy. They have loads and loads of products, which could get quite complicated, but they do it in a very refined and solid manner. The buying process is really easy. The service is really great. All of these things are adding together to make for a brilliant user experience. They have a product recommendation tool on their website that allows you to see other products that you might be interested in that actually works. I mean, I've bought off that product recommendation tool. Loads of people would love that kind of technology on their website. And this is something that a huge retailer, a huge global retailer is adopting early and innovating in the industry. Another one that's done really well in this space, Netflix. I mean, obviously they don't have an offline store, but they actually offered $1 million prize for the best ratings prediction algorithm to improve their filtering results. So if anyone built them this algorithm, they give them $1 million. Now, if they're giving anyone $1 million who can build them something like this, how much do you think they're going to gain from that algorithm? I mean, what's their return on investment on that? It's going to be huge if they're going to throw $1 million at it. It's quite a nice bit of PR for them as well, being able to throw $1 million around to anyone who's going to help them out. But it shows the value of personalization. It shows the value that these huge brands are putting on this innovative approach. Another example, something a little bit more closely to home for us, is one of our clients. Just going to quickly go through it. Joy. They do gifts and fashion and stuff. They've got offline and online stores. They found that they wanted to increase their engagement along the website, and that a lot of their users were abandoning baskets. So we built them this game this interactive game that appeared when a user was leaving the website. And that allowed users to engage in something quite fun on their site, and then whatever they actually got from that game, the score that they actually attained from playing that game, they then got an incentive based on that score, which they could then opt in and get the discount for. Obviously something quite innovative for them as a brand, using a solution to do. You know, they outsourced all this to us. We didn't have to do anything. But just from doing this one campaign on their website, they increased their user engagement by 5 hours in a week just on this game. I mean, they're not on Amazon. They're not a massive web store. But 5 hours in a week just from this one game being on the website for only those users who leave the website, and only those users who leave the website with a certain amount in their basket. That's quite cool for them. That's quite a nice little boost for their e-com team. Obviously, there's brands out there as well who haven't done so well. I mean, I live up in Angel, and there's a Phones for You store that's been there for like a month and a half with nothing in it. I don't know when they're going to replace that. Probably EE jump in there. But some brands have, and I'm not saying by any means that Phones for You haven't personalized their site and that's why they failed. There's a lot of other issues there. But there are a lot of failures out there who aren't actually engaging in this stuff, aren't kind of having the balls essentially to really try things, to be more agile in the way that they work, to really test different solutions and different technologies out there, and really try and grow and innovate their own space. So what's the solution? How do we stop our brand falling into that graveyard and push our brand towards the Amazons and the Netflix? Well, use data. You guys have data at your fingertips so easily. There's loads of free solutions out there that you can use to look at some data. I mean, it won't be incredibly deep, but it'll give you an idea about certain aspects of people who are coming to your website, what they're looking at, what they're abandoning, what they're buying. This kind of stuff's really interesting. I mean, we work with loads of brands who go beyond that. We start targeting campaigns based on new versus existing customers. I mean, new customer acquisition is a huge objective for so many marketeers. It's so easy to do it. It's so easy to channel a campaign to a new customer. Look at the device they're on. Look at the geolocation that they're in. All of these things are going to affect what they buy. If you're up in Manchester, you're probably looking at a rain jacket. I know because I'm from Manchester. It rains there every day. If you're down in the South Coast, you're not. It's simple stuff, but it's stuff that can easily help the conversion rate of your website go up. The second thing, other than data being the most important, is adopt the new solutions, the new technologies that are out there. And this goes beyond just looking at one a year and seeing what happens. I mean, you guys have to move with the times and really get involved and engrossed in all of the different solutions that are out there, because there's so many that touch so many different points of the business. Personalization, on-site stuff, email, display, social sharing stuff, product recommendation. There's so many technologies out there that can help you up that conversion rate and engagement and clicks and ROI. And the third thing will be to develop an agile, customer-centric business strategy. Now, this is hard. The bigger companies out there aren't as agile as the smaller ones. It's difficult to do. But really pushing that innovation and really pushing that leadership of thought within your space can help you to do that. It can help you to be more agile. And that's not easy, but it's something that's very important. So we've talked about personalization. We've talked about how important it is. We've talked about brands that have done really well. We've talked about brands that maybe haven't. So how can we assess what we're doing? How can we see whether we fall into one of those two categories, or how maybe we can improve as marketeers, as brands, as e-commerce businesses? Well, there's a flurry of questions there for you. Who is my customer today? Are we looking at our data? Is our customer today the same as the customer yesterday or the customer last year? Probably not. They're probably quite different. I mean, generations are kind of dying out, and people do different stuff now than they used to do 20 years ago. I mean, I couldn't think of anyone 20 years ago going into a store and looking at their mobile and seeing if, I don't know, they could get a voucher on the product that they're standing next to. I mean, you hear about these department stores putting beacons in mannequins to send people notifications when they're walking around a shop. Like, this is real innovation. These customers are changing. So understand your customer. Second one, how do we react to changing customer behaviors? Does the data that we look at internally, if we can look at that data, does it allow us to make informed business decisions? Does it fall in with our objectives as a brand? Really, really important. How can I capitalize on the increasing use of mobile? Well, have you got an app? Have you got a mobile optimized site? Is this something that you guys are thinking about? How much traffic are you getting onto mobile? I mean, you go on a mobile device now, you look at Google, the top 2 results are by Google. They're paid. The third one's probably Google as well, because they're doing a lot of their own stuff. How many results are below that? Well, probably none, because the screen's pretty small. So what do you use for your search on mobile now? If Google's out the window, if you don't want to pay too much for it. You look at things like Facebook. Facebook's becoming the search engine of mobile now. These are the questions you need to start asking yourself. How does social media impact my business? Well, that's the answer, right? How can I provide customers with a singular shopping experience across all channels? Test and learn. You're not going to lose. If you test, you either win or you learn. They're kind of the 2 options. And either of those, essentially, you'll end up winning, because eventually you'll get there. Do I have the right partners for the personalized age? Well, that's what this show's all about, right? Go out there and talk to people, find the right partners, find the right technologies, find the right people that can help you. If you have an issue with your e-com, if you have an issue with your conversion rate, if you have an issue with your display or engagement or bringing people back onto the site, there's probably someone out there who can help you. There's a whole load of technologies that will be doing all of those things. And how agile is my digital strategy? Well, that's kind of up to you guys. How you really change within the space, whether you adopt any of these technologies, whether you do test, that's kind of up to you. Obviously, there's budget, but it's important to try as much as you can. So, in conclusion then, what do we think? Personalization is powerful. It allows brands to connect with their customers on a level that they probably weren't before. You guys probably don't want your shops to just be inhuman machines that deliver a product or a service to someone. You probably want to actually engage in your customers who you've paid loads to get on there. No one wants to be treated as a demographic or a number or a conversion rate or a like. Modern consumers deserve to be treated as people. You know, that's the way that the industry's going. That's the way that we're changing and innovating. Before the rise of e-commerce, personal treatment was a baseline expectation for high street shoppers. Now, technology and advanced online marketing solutions have caught up with that in-person experience. That's something that you guys need to adopt if you're not already. Forward-thinking brands are proactively using cutting-edge personalization practices to create highly tailored journeys for users across every channel. And I mean every single channel. But no. To really gain an edge over competitors, brands need to stop thinking of personalization as just a name or an email address. They need to start thinking of it as a whole new area of their business. And that's about it from me. So if you guys have got any questions, feel free to fire them over. Or, like I say again, if you want to shoot over to our stand, C47, and have a chat about anything that I've mentioned regarding Yieldify as a business, we'll be there all day today and tomorrow. Do you have any questions? Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.